everyone, it's Bex from Bexley Creations here. I thought I would finally do a drill with me video. I've been working on this this little snowman that I got from Gemet Australia. I believe my unboxing of that's already been posted. And yeah, I've only got this little section left to do. So I thought I found a get to know me tag. So there's 100 questions, so I don't think I'll answer them all. I'll just go through some. I might skip if they don't really relate to me, or but yeah, thought I'd finally do one. So let's get started. Here's hoping I can concentrate on doing this and talking at the same time. I used to be really good at multitasking, and then I don't know what happened. Now if I don't concentrate on one task and do it exactly like when I think of it, then yeah, my brain's all over the place. Just put fresh wax in my pen and sometimes it oozes out a bit, which is annoying. Okay, so question number 1. Are you a morning or night person? I think I'm more of a night person because I hate getting up in the morning. I would love nothing more than to stay in my nice warm bed and sleep for an extra few hours and forget about any responsibilities I have. Oops. But in saying that, I do get very, very tired around, 10 o'clock. So, but my brain seems to be more active at night. Like I find, I'm trying to sleep and that's when I'll have all my creative ideas, or realize, I needed to do that and I forgot to do it. And so yeah, I think I'd definitely be classed as a night person. Are you afraid of the dark? I used to be. Now it's not so much being afraid of the dark as I can't see very well in the dark, and it makes me feel a bit dizzy if there's not enough light for me to see where I'm walking. So I tend to more get anxious about it than be afraid of it. I tend to have a lamp on when I'm falling asleep, and I do have I guess it was called a night light, but it's one of those lights that it's plugged into your power, and if your power goes out, it automatically comes on in case of a blackout. So my house is fairly illuminated at night, but not too much to the point that I can't sleep. The lamp I have on at night is just a salt lamp, so it's not very bright. So I find it fairly easy to fall asleep. But yeah, my eyesight is terrible in the dark, and if there's no way to illuminate where I'm stepping, I get very dizzy. So, are you an extrovert or an introvert? I am definitely an introvert. Part of that is because I suffer from anxiety, panic attacks, all that fun stuff, and that meant that I had a lot of trouble making new friends, going places that I didn't know. It's getting better, but even if I didn't have those issues, I think I'd still be an introvert. I find it very exhausting to be around people. Going and doing my grocery shopping and just, 2 hours at the local shopping centre, and I'm absolutely exhausted for the rest of the day. It takes me a while to recharge my batteries after social situations. So, are you double jointed? I don't believe so. I think the only thing is one of my thumbs bends a little more than the other, but no double jointedness. Left or right-handed? Well, as you can see, I am right-handed. And I'm not able to do much with my left hand, like in terms of writing or diamond painting or anything. It's, yeah. I've tried writing left-handed before and it was horrible. So, are you more of a tidy person or a messy one? I think I'm a little of both. I like what I refer to as organized chaos. So things may look a little messy to one person, but I know where everything is. Everything has a place. And when I clean up, I don't think I need that color. Yeah, when I clean up, there'll be days afterwards where I'm like, where did I put that? So, but on the other hand, I hate when things get too messy. Like, I live in a very, very small place, and so once you get a bit of mess, it just feels really, really crowded, and so I try to keep on top of it. But there are times that, you know, I'm just not feeling well, or I've been busy and I just haven't had a chance to, say, do the dishes or put the recycling out in the rubbish bin, or so. But yeah, I prefer to be tidy. Are you always on time or always late? I'm always on time, or actually I'm always early. I've always been early. My parents have always taught me to be early. Better off getting there ahead of time, depending, you know, what it's for. But you can go to the bathroom, you can, like, say it's for an interview, you can go over points in your head. If it's for an appointment, you can just sit and relax for a bit. And yeah, it's I hate being late. It stresses me out. Are you ticklish? I don't know. It's been a long time since someone's actually tickled me, to be honest. I think I used to be ticklish. Mainly, like, my stomach would be ticklish. But yeah, I'm not sure if any of that's changed, or... can you ice skate? I've never tried. You know, I live in Australia, and the part of Australia I'm in, we have never had snow that I'm aware of. So, I mean, there used to be a skating rink in the city where you could go and ice skate, but we never went. So, yeah, I've never really tried it. I don't know, my balance is not great these days, so I don't know if I could balance on the blades. Can you wiggle your ears? Yes, I can. My dad and I can both wiggle our ears. No one else can that I'm aware of. It's not a very useful skill. Coffee or tea? I don't really drink either. I tend to have more hot chocolates, or nothing, like no warm drinks in summer. I love coffee. I love the taste of coffee. I love all the different flavors of coffee you can get, but it gives me horrible stomach cramps, so I don't tend to drink it. Tea, I used to drink just regular instant tea or tea bags, just black tea. I did try like peppermint tea and flavored teas at one stage, but they weren't really for me. I like to put milk and sugar in everything, so the only one I found that I liked was a Sleepy Time vanilla tea, which was quite nice. But yeah, I tend to mainly do hot chocolate. Cookies, cake, or donuts. Oh gosh, really depends where it's coming from. Certain donuts I really like. Cakes, if my sister-in-law makes a cake, it's usually 100% delicious. I'm a huge fan of cheesecake. I love cheesecake. I haven't had it for ages though. But yeah, it depends where it's coming from, I think. Did you like school? I loved primary school. So grades prep through to grade 6. I loved it. It was a tiny little country school. Everyone sort of knew everybody. I had, a few good friends, but a group of acquaintances, I guess you would say. And yeah, I really loved it there. Most of the teachers were really good. I definitely had my favorite teachers. When I moved to high school, that is when my panic attacks started. And back then we had no idea what it was, and there was a lot of issues. It took a long time to sort it out, and I ended up leaving high school after 6 months and being homeschooled for the rest of high school. So up to year 12 I was homeschooled. And I loved being homeschooled. I found that, I was learning so much because it was sort of at my own pace. I could contact my teachers if I needed one-on-one help. The subjects were great. But there was that whole missing out on the social aspect of it. So yeah, so I guess school was sort of a mixed bag for me. Do you believe in ghosts? Kind of. We often used to say that there was a ghost cat living in our house. You'd see like a cat run down the hallway out of the corner of your eye, but our 2 cats were fast asleep next to you on the couch, so it wasn't them. I actually had it the other week, sort of middle of the night. I was half asleep and it felt like a cat jumped up on my bed, but now that I live on my own, I only have a dog with me. I don't have a cat, and he sleeps in his little crate, so there was nothing on my bed, but I would swear a cat had jumped up and started walking around. So I believe in that sort of thing. One of the houses we lived in when I was a kid just sort of had this weird vibe about it. So yeah, I sort of believe in ghosts. Do you bite your nails? Yes. I try not to. And sometimes it's more the skin around my nails that I sort of chew on. Usually when I'm nervous, or I don't even realize I'm doing it half the time. I try to paint my nails, to avoid chewing on it, because for some reason my brain goes, oh, you've got nail polish on, let's not touch them. But I really just don't have the patience to sit down and paint my nails and wait for them to dry, when I could be, you know, diamond painting or doing something else. But yeah, I do bite my nails. And I tend to keep them short too, because they annoy me when they get long, and they also start to split. If they get to a certain length, they'll split at the sides, and then I have to worry about them getting caught on something and sort of ripping off, and yeah, that's not fun. Do you consider yourself a good cook? I can follow a recipe. I can definitely follow a recipe. And it usually turns out okay. So, I mean, if that's all that constitutes as a good cook, then... But then I have burnt toasted sandwiches before. I have tried to cook pork with crackling, and you know, suddenly it's like something's burning and there's smoke all through the kitchen. So there have been some mishaps. Thankfully nothing since I've moved out, touch wood, because I don't really feel like dealing with that. But yeah, I can follow a recipe, I can reheat things, so I won't starve, but I don't know if that constitutes as being a good cook. Do you enjoy DIY or crafts? Well, yes, obviously. Yeah, I love diamond painting, I like painting artworks, any little craft kits. I used to do cross stitch for a little bit. I used to knit. I could never crochet. My mum tried to teach me so many times and I just could not pick it up. Knitting was fine, but crochet always confused me. What else have I done? At Christmas time, we will decorate our house, and usually we haven't done it the last couple of years just due to finances and things, I think, but we used to buy big bits of wooden board and we would draw cartoon characters on them, and then I would paint them, and well, my dad would cut them out, I would paint them, and then we'd put them on the house. So one year we had all Looney Tunes characters. My brother actually had all Simpsons characters on his house one year. Then we just had a year with just sort of regular Christmas characters. We were always going to do like an Australian Christmas theme, but we just, yeah. Usually by the time we think of it, we've left it too long and run out of time to actually get it prepared before Christmas. Do you have any phobias? Yes. I am terrified of a lot of things. I used to be terrified of bees and wasps. Now it's just wasps. I'm getting used to bees. You know, I sort of learnt that they don't really bother you if you don't bother them, but wasps can be really nasty, so I don't like those. I am scared of suffocating or choking. That's always been a big fear of mine. And then I tend to have a lot of fears around just my general health. Like, I'm terrified to be unwell because my anxiety tends to then turn like a headache into a brain tumor and stuff like that. So again, it's getting better and I'm working on it, but yeah, I have a phobia of the dentist, but I think a lot of people do. I can't think of any others off the top of my head. Do you have any piercings or tattoos? Yes, I do. I have my ears pierced. I used to have 3 holes in each ear, but 2 in each ear closed up. And I just sort of never bothered to get them redone. And then the main holes in them, like, I hardly ever wear earrings anyway, so I have trouble finding ones that don't irritate my skin. So I had my nose pierced for about a year, and I took it out to change the jewelry, couldn't get it back in, and just left it out. And then tattoos, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tattoos. I've got this one here, which is pretty self-explanatory. You've got the semicolon, which is a symbol for your story continues. I actually designed this tattoo myself. Same with this one. And I have a phoenix and mandala on my arm, my left arm, which still needs a tiny bit done to it to finish it off. I just haven't had the money to go back and get that done yet. And then I have a lace skull on my right thigh, which I also sort of designed myself. So yeah. I didn't get my first tattoo until my 20s. I was always terrified of it. Oh, that brings me back to a phobia, is needles. I hate needles of any kind. So yeah, tattoos always, you know, I loved them and I knew I wanted one, but because I was terrified of needles, and that's what they are, I could never bring myself to do it. Once I got my first one, I was sort of like, oh really? That's all it is? So it wasn't too bad. I'm just gonna take a drink. My throat is hurting a bit today. Do you have pets? I do have pets. I have a dog named Chevy. He is a Maltese Shih Tzu, and I always get mixed up with whether he's 7 or 8 years old. Then I also have 2 cats, but they live with my parents in their house because I'm basically living in a small granny flat in the backyard, and there's just not enough space for the cats and the dog. It wouldn't be fair on the cats. They wouldn't really have anywhere to get away from the dog because he does like to annoy them. So they stayed with my parents in the main house. But they are gorgeous, gorgeous cats. One is just a tabby, and one is a black cat. She's got the little white tuft on her chest and on one of her feet. Then we have some guinea pigs, 2 little guinea pigs, and my dad has 2 budgies. Yeah. We do have a snake, but that's technically my brother's snake, so. Next question. Do you have siblings? Yes, I have one younger brother. He is 2 years younger than me. He is married. He has 2 sons. one is turning 9 in a few weeks, which I can't believe, and one is just over 4 months old, and I love them both dearly. Do you prefer dogs or cats? As much as it pains me to say it, I think I prefer cats. I love my dog, I do. He, you know, is basically like my child. But I do tend to prefer cats in terms of looking after them. I think I mean, my dog's fairly low maintenance, but there's times when I'm going through a rough patch and I don't have the energy or the motivation to, you know, take him outside and play with him and things like that. And so in that regard, I think I prefer cats because they're more solitary. But in saying that, I do love that dogs will love you no matter what. You know, I've been through some rough patches and my dog has always, you know, acted like I'm the best person in the world. Generally around dinner time, but, you know. Do you prefer the beach or the mountains? I don't know. I don't know if I prefer one over the other. I like the beach. I don't go in the water because I refuse to swim in anything that is not a swimming pool. But, you know, oh no. Let me just pause for a minute and clean this up. Okay, we are back. I think I got them all. I almost think I would have preferred if they had gone all over the carpet instead of stuck to the canvas, because that was not fun to clean up. Right, where were we? Do you smoke? No, I don't. My dad smokes. My brother smokes. My mum used to smoke. I never took it up. I don't plan to take it up. But I'm not, you know, completely anti-smoking because I've sort of been brought up around it. So it doesn't really bother me. Do you still watch cartoons? Yes. Well, when I get a chance. They're probably more aimed at adults now. So things like Family Guy, The Simpsons, Rick and Morty. But yes, I still love cartoons. And occasionally I'll still watch, you know, animated movies and things that are aimed for kids, because why not? They're fun. Oh, excuse me. Got the hiccups now. Do you or have you played any sports? I don't currently. I used to play netball when I was in primary school. And I played volleyball for a little while in that small amount of time I was at high school. But no, I don't currently play any sports at the moment. Have you ever been to a concert? Not technically. I've been to conventions where there was a live band. But I haven't been to an actual concert. And honestly, I'm not sure if I would enjoy it because I hate when things are too loud. I usually end up with a headache, so I don't tend to go to the movies because of that. And yeah. Have you ever gone camping? Yes. We used to go a lot when I was a kid. Apparently I loved it. These days, if I'm going on a holiday, I want a working bathroom and kitchen. I don't think I could rough it in the bush in a tent anymore. But yeah, we used to go camping a lot when I was a kid. We would be near a lake, and I remember there was always like blue-tongue lizards and stuff, and you know, we'd go on a boat out on the lake, and it was always fun. But yeah, I don't think I could camp in a tent anymore. I'm too spoiled. Have you met any celebrities? Yes, I have. Like I said, I've been to some conventions for the TV show Supernatural. So I've met quite a few of the actors from that. Had my photos taken with them, gotten their autographs, gone to the panels, that sort of thing. And I mean, the people from that show are lovely. They're all, you know, sometimes you worry about meeting some of your favorite celebrities, that they'll be obnoxious or, you know, full of themselves, but all of the ones I've met from that show have been really down to earth, really appreciative of their fans. They sort of take the time to talk with each one as best they can. So have you had braces? No. I've often wondered if I should have. My teeth aren't the greatest. They don't cause me pain or anything. I can eat and drink fine, but they're not, you know, the straightest or the neatest teeth. So I often wonder if I would have, you know, if I had have gone to the dentist regularly, if they would have suggested braces. But I've heard horror stories about braces too, so. How are you feeling right now? Right now, I am cold. The day started off quite nice. You know, I had my front door open, it was sunshine, and it seems to have gotten a bit more overcast. I had to get my blanket out because I was quite cold. Not quite cold enough to put the heater on though. It is the beginning of November, so the weather has been warming up. What the heck? Oh my goodness. I heard something outside and it scared me. It's my dad. He's just gotten home from his jobs. Where was I? How am I feeling right now? So yeah, cold, got a bit of a sore throat, and I'm feeling a little run down, so I'm wondering if the constantly changing weather this week, because we've gone from sunshine to rain and back again, is causing me to come down with something, but hopefully not. If money were no object, what would you get for your next birthday? Oh gosh, probably 1 million diamond paintings. Yeah, sort of, there's not much else that I can think of that I really want. Like, you know, in terms of things I have, I'm pretty lucky. Like, I have a computer, I have a phone, I have a TV, I have clothes, I have food. So maybe all I can think of would be either pay off all my bills, but even those aren't too bad at the moment, or yeah, sort of diamond paintings are something I look at all the time, but I don't buy them very often because, you know, especially this time of year, the money is going on other things like gifts for people. And so yeah, I think if money was no object though, I would definitely want to, like, there's some from Diamond Art Club and DIY Moon shop that are gorgeous and great quality, but I can't justify the price of them at the moment. What did you last eat? That would be what I had for lunch, which was some pizza pockets. They're just little, for anyone that's never had them, little dough sort of domes filled with, these ones were cheese and bacon flavored. You just pop them in the oven and it's like a tiny pizza but with a bit more crust. Yeah, they weren't bad. I wasn't super hungry, so I just sort of threw them in. Okay, next question. What do you do on a typical Friday night? This is pretty much it. Well, actually it depends. Every second weekend my oldest nephew stays with us. He usually lives in another city about an hour away. So on those Friday nights he is usually at my place. He likes for us to play Fortnite or watch YouTube videos or just, yeah, have some fun. On the weekends he's not here, then yeah, I would usually do some diamond painting, watch some Netflix, watch some YouTube. Sometimes I'll be at my computer, sometimes I'll just stretch out on the couch. I don't really have much of a social life, so that's about as crazy as it gets for me. What is one food that you refuse to eat? Peas. I hate peas with a passion. Have never ever liked them. Ever. I think they taste horrible, the texture is horrible. They're just awful, awful food, and yeah, I will not eat them. You know, I've found recipes before that have sounded really nice, and then I've seen that one of the ingredients is peas, and unless I can find a way to leave those out, I will not do the recipe. Yeah, I hate peas. What is one item you can't live without? I mean, the first thing that comes to my head would be my phone. I like having my phone with me all the time. That's part of my anxiety thing, I think, too, is I like to be able to have it with me so that if something happens, I can call someone. You know, I like having the internet on it. Well, lately I've liked checking AliExpress on it a lot. Apologies for any noise outside. My dad's moving the bins around. What is your shoe size? I am a size 10 to 11 in women's shoes, which is a pain. A lot of the nice styles of shoes just don't go up that big, or I've found stores don't tend to order in that much in that size. So it's always been very hard to find decent shoes, and I also have a very wide foot, So I'll find a pair of shoes, but they'll be too narrow and it's just too painful to wear. So yeah, if I find a pair of shoes that are good and comfortable, generally I will buy a second pair to have as a backup, just in case. What phone do you have, Apple or Android? I have an Apple. It's an iPhone X or iPhone 10. I got it when it first came out. I was the kind of person that, you know, Apple brought out a new phone, I had to have it. But now I've sort of, you know, budget-wise, that's just not doable. So I'm sticking with this one until it dies and I have to get a new one. But yeah, I love Apple products. I like just the way it's laid out and the way it works. And, it's one of my pet peeves. Gosh, I think I've got a lot of pet peeves. I think one of my big pet peeves is hypocrites. People who say one thing and then do the opposite, or you know, people who the rules don't apply to them. Like everyone else has to do something a certain way, but not them. They can do it the other way. That's a big pet peeve of mine. Also, people who don't hold themselves accountable, like everything else is someone else's fault. It's never their fault, even though, you know, they're the only ones that should be doing that instead of waiting for other people to do it. Yeah. What's the thing you can't leave the house without? That'd be my handbag. Again, my anxiety plays into that. It's got my extra medication should I need it. It's got my Ventolin if my asthma plays up, my phone, lip gloss, band-aids, Panadol, sort of a walking chemist. Yeah, if I'm going somewhere, I take that bag with me. What's your Chinese sign? I think from memory it was a snake. Every time Chinese New Year comes around and, you know, they mention it's the year of the dog or the year of the goat or whatever, I always look it up, what mine is. And then I forget. I'm pretty sure it was a snake. I don't know what that means in terms of the Chinese zodiac or anything, but what's your dream car? I've had a few different dream cars over the years. First dream car I wanted was a Plymouth Belvedere with the big fins on the back. Then I really wanted a Mazda, I think it was RX-8. It's RX-7 or RX-8, but in this really nice blue color. And then because I'm a fan of Supernatural and the car in that is a 67 Chevy Impala, I've always wanted one of those as well. The funny thing is I don't drive. I have my license, but I don't drive. I just don't like to drive, and I haven't driven for many years. So, you know, if I got a dream car, it'd probably just sit there, but doesn't hurt to dream. What's your favorite book? Oh my goodness. I mean, generally, I love the Harry Potter series. And my favorite one has always been Order of the Phoenix. But I feel like that's such a standard answer these days. One book that I will reread over and over again is, it's called the Bachman books, and it's 4 stories by Richard Bachman, who is basically Stephen King's alter ego. And it's got 4 different stories by him in it, and I just love rereading it. My favorite one is The Long Walk. It's so strange and so messed up, and I absolutely love his writing. It always freaks me out just that little bit. Probably got time for a couple more questions. I don't want this video to be too long. Let's see. What's your favorite color? Favorite color is purple. And I also love green, like the bright sort of neon lime green. And I love both those colors together. You know, anything green and purple, I love it. I just don't see that color combination very often. What's your favorite restaurant? I don't really go to restaurants very often, but if I had to pick one, it would be this all-you-can-eat place near where we live. You go and you pay, I think it's like $25, and there's like these buffets set out. You've got, you know, your pastas and salads and Chinese food, fried food, then there's a dessert section, and yeah, you can just eat as much as you want. And we haven't been for quite a while because it is a bit expensive, but it's always really nice food. And yeah, we always eat way too much, but you got to get your money's worth, right? What's your favorite season? I would have to go with autumn. I hate summer. I hate the heat. I cannot cool down. Like, you know, winter, yeah, you can rug up in hoodies and blankets and put the heater on and get toasty warm. In summer, it doesn't matter if you've got the air conditioning on and you're in your underwear, you're still stinking hot. So aside from ripping your skin off, there's nothing you can do. And I just hate it. Spring, which we're in currently, is not too bad. This year it's been very warm already though. And winter's just generally, as much as I like the cold, it can be a bit sort of depressing with the rain and the dreariness and so I always like autumn. It's sort of in between. Plus my birthday is in April, so last question, let's see. What's your lucky number? I have 3 lucky numbers, and I don't know how I came to consider these numbers lucky, but whenever I've had to pick numbers for something, I've always gone for these 3. 3, 13, and 21. I have no idea why, but they're the ones I've always picked. So we got a fair bit done. Probably would have had a bit more done if I hadn't spilled those drills everywhere. But yeah, thank you very much for drilling with me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm open to any feedback, as this was my first one. And I do appreciate the feedback so I can, you know, make better content. So feel free to give a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.